And we are live. Hello, everyone. Everyone that's just getting in here. We're going to be doing some super fun bat trivia with Heather Huhman. If you guys haven't been to one of her fun trivia classes, you're in for a treat. At Love of Learning Club, she does awesome trivia classes with lots of additional materials to help you really learn the information. So trivia is a great way to introduce a new topic. And then she has, I think it's printables and quizzes and other lessons and videos to go along with the different topics that she's talking about that week. Tell us a little bit more about Love of Learning Club.
Yeah, so there are a couple of different clubs at the moment, but I will likely be expanding in the future. So there is science, history, and writing, and then just a straight up trivia, which we have been devoting to animals for the time being. So every day we have a live writing class that is optional to attend the live. You can watch the replay or you can not have the online part at all. Everything has printables. It's all done for you. Right now, this week, we are working with creative writing. We're using a Halloween board game to create little Halloween stories. So that's been fun. Right now in science, we are working through the skeletal system. And this week, we're doing bone joints. We just did regular old bone types last week. For history, we've been covering Halloween around the world. It's a 3-part series. So we did part 1 last week. We're doing part 2 this week, and we'll do part 3 next week. And on Friday, we are doing the Gray Wolf for Trivia Club or Animal Club, as it's as it is at the moment. But yeah, everything has printables and lessons and writing prompts that you can actually submit to me for feedback, quizzes, really a whole bunch of things, activities that you can do offline. And it walks you through all the different steps. So I feel like there's an even bigger list than that, but there's a lot that goes into every single club. It's not just live classes.
So you got a lot going on. So I went ahead and dropped a link there for everyone to be able to go into StreamYard and approve their Facebook. So that will make it so that we can see your names over on StreamYard and give you shout outs when you're answering the trivia questions. So if you can go ahead and click on that link, it just grants access so that StreamYard, which is the software we use to bring this to you live, can see your name.
Yes, absolutely.
So it looks like we have 10 people live here, including Lily from Puerto Rico. Hi, Lily.
Hi, Lily.
Be sure to comment where you're joining us from and who you have with you.
Yes.
I am here in North Idaho, and I have my trusty dog, Teddy Bear, here with me. You'll probably see him in the background.
I am joining from Maryland. We are just south of Washington, D.C. I am sadly alone in my office. I have no buddies with me. So yeah, it's you're only getting me tonight.
All right. Well, if everyone is ready to get started, go ahead and post a comment to let us know that you're here and that you guys are ready to get started and jump into the fun trivia. We're going to be covering bats, which I think is an appropriately spooky topic for October.
Yes, that's why I chose them. The first thing I wanted to ask, oh my, and my slides have like gone insane. The first thing I wanted to ask was what you guys already know about bats or think you know. So why don't you go ahead and drop that in the comments? I know that in the past, I learned so much about all of the different topics I put together. I thought I knew a lot about the skeletal system. It turns out there's a lot that I learned while putting that together. The Halloween around the world stuff has been fascinating. All the different holidays that people celebrate that are like Halloween. And bats is really just there's a 4-foot bat in Africa. Wow. Yeah, so bats is just another one. I admittedly did not know really a lot from bats. I had a very bad bat experience as a child. And kids love hearing the story. So, like, the real quick version is we were going in a cavern with my parents, and suddenly, like, all of the bats like flew out of the cave and they got stuck in my hair. I have a lot of hair. I had more hair then. I have not been near bats or a cave ever since. So it was traumatizing. But
Oh
they're
man, yeah.
really cool animals. I will leave that. I'm not like anti-bat. I don't want to be up close and personal. All right. So with that, let's get started. So the first question is true or false? Oh, by the way, this is for fun. This is not a quiz. We're not in competition with each other. It is okay to get these wrong. This is truly just for fun. All right. So true or false? The oldest known bat fossil is 25 million years old. Oldest known bat fossil. What do we think? Oh, Amelia, do you have any
I'm
thoughts on this
thinking.
one?
I would not expect bats to be that old, but I suppose it would make sense. So I don't know.
Yes. Do we think they've been around for like a real long time?
I think that this one might be false. I just don't feel like bats have been around that long, but I don't know. I haven't looked up when the oldest fossil of a bat. That
This
hasn't been on my list of information to search up.
of things to like Google. Yeah. This is actually a fairly recent discovery, by the way. I will give it that. Um, I'm still not getting comments in our StreamYard. I'm on the Facebook event, but I'm getting things I think very late.
So we've
So,
got Jen, who's joining us from Florida. She has 4 kids, and her mom are joining us.
oh,
We have
lovely.
Janet from North Idaho as well. Laura with Aiden and Aaron from Canada. Misty with 2 kids in Louisiana. And Jasmine in Efren, Giselle, and in Tampa, Florida. They're all joining us.
Got it. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I only have 4 comments and 3 of them are from Lily. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But okay. So I apologize for not seeing your answers. Amelia's going to have to help me out here. All right. So this is false, but it's actually way more than
Really?
twice as many million years ago. So 52
Crazy.
million years ago. Yeah. Like I said, this was actually a recent discovery in Wyoming. I don't know if we heard of anyone being in Wyoming. But yeah, they've been around for a really, really, really long time. Which I was super shocked about. I would have been like you, false, but sooner.
Huh.
Not quite as old. Not quite as old. Okay. All right. So, true or false, there are over 1,400 different species of bats.
We also have Zion from Georgia as well. Hi, guys.
Welcome. What
I
do we think?
personally think that this one is true just because of how many different bat species I've heard of. That I
Mm,
have researched a little bit, but I don't know if there's that many. That's a lot.
that's a
But
lot,
the
right?
variety that there is, it wouldn't surprise me to learn that there was that many. So,
Mhm.
what do you guys think? Just post true or false in the comments with what you think the answer is.
I feel like I'm going to miss out because a lot of people are like shocked emojis and like the brain explosion emojis. I feel like I'm missing out. Oh man. Maybe I'll see your
So,
comments one day.
we've got Jen and Chepero both think that this one's true as well.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Oh, Misty has the true answer just as you were about to reveal it. Let's see.
Not right. That That is outdated or
Oh,
something. There are 1,400.
over.
So you're gonna have to you're gonna have to erase the one or turn it into a four or something. This part surprised me even more. Bats make up a quarter of all mammal species.
That's crazy.
Bats make up a quarter of all mammal species. That is
I
crazy, just like you
that's
said.
just like my brain is just
And they are found on every continent except Antarctica, which, kind of makes sense. But they're found on every other continent. So, yeah, there are bats all around us. All right, let's see. Some bats can reach speeds of up to 150 miles per hour. True or false? 150 miles per hour.
Oh, I just think that that one's false. I'd like to imagine that that is false.
That's intense.
That's that's a very fast pass.
Okay. Yeah,
Misty says
a
she'll fix the printable for you. Don't
a
worry about
1
it.
turns into a 4, I feel like fairly easily. This is an easy fix. All
Okay.
right, a couple of true I think my Facebook's, catching up. It realizes it was doing me wrong before. A couple trues, a couple falses. We're split on this.
Yes.
I'm curious too, the falses, if you think it's, less or more.
I think that it's less. I hope that it's less.
All right, let's see. It is less. So,
That's
a
still
100
really fast.
that's still really fast, right? It's one of the fastest flying animals, period. So, there aren't too many things that go faster than this in the air. So, this is the Brazilian free-tailed bat, in case you were curious about which one is going this fast. Yeah.
They're
See, this is
tiny.
this is why the bat in the hair thing totally terrified me. All right, true or false? Bats can hibernate for up to 8 months in cold climates. True or false?
I'm just have a feeling right now that I'm going to learn so much more about bats than I knew before because I don't even think that they can hibernate. I haven't heard that, but like
You're like, is this totally false? They don't
I don't
hibernate at
know.
all? Or is the eight
Like
months part wrong?
looks like everyone uh thinks that this is true. So I'm just going to break the trend and I'm going to say that I think that it's false. I think that it's if they do hibernate it's for less time.
It's for less time. Yeah, you are correct on that one. It's for 6 months, although like you said, I did not know this either. And it has a special name. I'm probably not going to pronounce it. I'm so bad at pronouncing things. Torpor? I don't know. So it's not exactly like a bear hibernating, I guess is the thing. But they conserve energy, they can survive without food. It's in cold climates that they're even bothering to do this, just like other hibernating animals. They're not hibernating along the equator. Um, so, but up to 6 months, that's a really long time. So yeah, not quite 8 months, but they do hibernate. I did not know that either. All right. So I know a lot of people, I don't know, maybe I guess I'm making an assumption that think bats are feeding on blood all the time. Do we think only one species of bat feeds on blood of the 1,400? True or false?
I'm going to say that I think that this one is true just because I've seen so many of the different ones like fruit bats and they do the pollen they insects and pollen and there's all kinds of different things that bats feed on.
There
And
is. And we're definitely going to talk about some of them. Yes, there are a lot of things that they feed on. Looks like people are disagreeing with you. you are
yeah,
you are being outvoted in this department.
I think I am officially outvoted.
False, although I wish it was true. Yeah. I love when that's the answer. I have when I do these classes at Level of Learning, they're always like, please let this not be true. We've been covering things and they're like, oh my gosh, no, don't let this be true. So this is false. It's not too many more though. There are only 3. All of them, interestingly, are found in the Americas. So, you know, but they don't suck blood. So like we're just gonna dispel that myth. They're not sucking blood out of things. They actually make a small cut and then like lap it up like you would like animals lap up water. So it's not like they grab on like vampire style. They make a cut and just like lick at it. I don't know. That might actually be even weirder, depending. um, but that I know it does do that in vampire legends, but here we are. Not so much. All right. So no species of bat is capable of walking. No species of bat is capable of walking.
Okay, the definition. So like the definition being like upright, or just like because I like they crawl, right? Like or scurry. I don't know. Like
I don't know what that would be
I
called.
overthink all of these questions because like I've done these before, and I'm just like is this the trick question? Which one? I know there's one trick question.
I do try to be as tricky as possible, but that makes it more fun.
Oh, it makes it so much more fun. So I'm gonna have to say that I think that this is true. I don't think that they are capable of walking. I think that they can crawl at best.
A lot of different species. You would think at least one would do it. Yeah, I know, right? All right. I feel like they can walk, but I feel like they can't. They don't have legs. They do have legs. So spoiler alert, they do have legs. All right, I'm going to reveal this one. This is true. So they have legs, but their body is only adapted for flying. Like the legs are there for like hanging upside down and roosting. But that's really their main purpose. So they're not built for walking. So, and the definition of walking to me, they don't do that. They don't do that. They fly and I don't know, drag their bodies, but that's it. Okay, so true or false? Bats can eat up to 2,000 mosquitoes in an hour.
I think that is that's higher. So I think that this is technically false.
Technically false. You think the number is lower?
I think the number is much higher.
Oh, do you think the number's higher? All right, just making sure I know where you're going on this one. Bats can eat up to 2,000 mosquitoes in an hour. Amelia thinks it is false because it is higher.
What do you guys? It looks like someone else thinks that it's false. Do you think that it's higher or lower?
Yeah, I always like to know that. Like, what?
That's fun.
No way,
So,
this is definitely false. They can eat less. All right, Lily is going with less.
and Jen also says she thinks this one's false. So we're in consensus, but not on whether it's more or less.
That's a lot of
yeah,
mosquitoes.
Misty's like, I hope this one's true.
All right, it is less. I mean, it's still an impressive number to eat 1,200 of anything in an hour. feels impressive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it actually is a really good thing. They're natural pest controllers. I don't know about you guys, not a fan of mosquitoes. So they reduce the need for like chemical based pesticides. So as long as they don't get tangled on my hair, they're very good things. They do a lot of actually really good things even beyond this. But this is one super awesome thing that they do. Don't like bats. I mean, I don't know. All right. So some bats migrate over 1,000 miles for hibernation or to find food. Do we think that they
I
migrate over 1,000 miles?
I think that this could be true for some bats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They would have to be, I would imagine, like either like really small
Mm.
or like it's a funny in between. It's like they have to be really small or really big in order to be able to do that.
I mean, because that's like a really, I don't know, that feels very far to me. I don't travel 1,000 miles for too much of anything. So, yeah, I don't know. I've always been fascinated by like migration and
Mm-hmm.
how the various animals figured out where they're going and the elements. I don't know. I'm a homebody. It feels easier just to stay here.
I saw just the geese are flying south, and there was like a bunch of them that were going by, and then like an hour later there was one, and I was just
Oh
like, oh
wow.
no, they left him behind.
Hopefully he catches up.
I know.
All right, let's find out. This one is true. So the part that I found interesting is they will travel that far to find food. So it's not necessarily even just a hibernation site. Um I mean, I imagine this is over a period of time. It's not like they go out and come back in the same day, I would imagine. But that's still pretty cool that they do that. So they have very good navigational skills and a lot of stamina. So good thing their body was built for flying and not walking.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They're
Yes, they are
tiny.
amazing. I agree. All right. So they can't walk, but do we think they can swim?
Okay, I actually do think this one is true, at least in emergency situations.
Okay. True in emergency situations. What do you guys
like
think?
like they're not gonna like go diving, like, but I think if they're in like a puddle, I think they can swim out.
They get stuck in a puddle.
Well, I mean, they're small.
Yeah, some of them are small. Yeah, it's true. Oh my gosh. I think most bats can do this. Okay. We're getting truths on this one. In emergency situations, you never hear
Yeah,
about bats drowning. I feel like I don't hear about bats doing too much of anything, but
yeah, I don't think that they make like news, like bat
right,
news.
exactly. Bat eats 1,200 mosquitoes in an hour. Um, okay, so they can swim. So it's super awkward looking. And it's like, if anyone is familiar with like the butterfly stroke of
Hmm.
swimming, it looks like that. It's, as you guys mentioned, not super duper common. They're not like just out for a swim or anything like that. But they can if they need to. So yeah, you guys are totally right. All right. Bats can have up to 50 teeth. Bats can have up to 50 teeth.
This is again. I love the facts that you put in here because like these are so cool, and I would have never thought to search them up myself because like I don't have any occasion to need to know how many teeth a bat has. But now, like, I'm curious. Now I've got to know.
Misty says she's going to YouTube a video of a bat swimming after this.
I know. I've seen like I saw a clip on one of those like funny video websites where they like put like clown music in the background. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah, it's so super awkward. Um I know, like what I realize that this is not going to become something you use in like your adult life. But very cool like dinner and party conversation starters, I suppose. Like quiz your parents kind of thing. Hopefully false that's creepy. Can you imagine a bat smiling you with 50 teeth? No. I cannot. Although I have to say, I also couldn't imagine them swimming. So there's that. So not quite. I mean, it's not 50, but it's not like nothing either. They can have up to 38 teeth. So yeah, especially the ones that eat insects, they are using them to grasp and chew. So yeah, the ones that eat insects typically have more teeth. So yeah. Like 1,000 teeth? Oh, thank goodness, no. The most that would really be frightening. I feel like those would be the blood licking ones. All right. So some bats are believed to be venomous. Some bats are believed to be venomous.
I, I feel like this one's false because I don't see any logical reason for them to be venomous. I can see
Hmm.
them being poisonous, but not venomous. So I think this one's false.
Okay. I can't tell if the trues were from the last one or from this one.
I think that. Oh, hi, Caitlin. I didn't see you join before. So it looks like I think that they are from this question. So we
Okay.
have two that believe that it is true.
Okay. Anybody else? Do you think
I,
that
I
some
may I
are
may get outvoted on this one. I'm thinking.
What do we think about their venomness? Venomousness? I don't know. That's probably not a word. Everyone's thinking too hard. All right, false. Someone agrees with you. Oh goodness. All right, I'm going to reveal the answer. So, here we go. What prey would they use it on? All right. So this is true. Um this is really weird. I did not
Hair
expect
and
this.
spines.
So right, I mean, I'm thinking it's for protection more than
Yeah.
anything else. So if you guys, oh man, I guess I don't want to spoil it. But if you remember the deadly creatures that I did, it was last month, I think.
Hmm.
There was a frog where we're like, don't lick it. This one's kind of the same thing. like don't lick it and you'll be okay. Apparently even then this one's probably not going to kill you. It's just going to, I don't know, hurt.
Mm.
I couldn't get super awesome details on it, but this is the African yellow-winged bat. Um and it's on their hair and spine. I personally think it's for protection against predators as opposed to anything else. So that is my belief. All right. Some bats construct tents to shelter from rain and predators. Do they build tents?
That would be super cool, but I have no idea.
That would be super cool. and no clue. Oh my goodness. Yes, thank you for dropping the link to Deadly Creatures. It was a good one.
It was so fun.
It's
We had so many
obviously
laughs.
in some places a little intense in case, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Deadly
So
Creatures didn't give that away, but true and sounds adorable. Oh, yeah. I agree. A lot. This is probably the most adorable one that we've heard so far. So, all right, guys, I am going to give away the answer here. It is true, and I agree with you. I think this is adorable. They
oh my
they cut
goodness, that's
leaves
adorable.
and create, yeah, a little tent. Um and that protects them. I feel like I feel like they have other options. But it's super cute. So maybe they were just going for that in this particular instance. But in a pinch, they will create their own tent. There you go. All right. Do we think that some birds can hover like hummingbirds? Some bats. We're clearly talking about bats. I've been up for a really long time. When we do these, I'm on like my 15th hour of the day, so you'll have to excuse me. All right. So some bats can hover like hummingbirds.
I feel like this one could be true because there are some bats that are like that size, that are just teeny tiny little puffballs of little bats.
Misty is also going to be looking at bat tents now. So she's going to check out bat swimming and bat tents. All good ventures, I have to say.
Yeah, I was like searching that up, right? I was like, okay, I've got to see this.
All right.
Hi, Nikisha. Thanks for joining us.
we think that I think we're split on this, like true and false. So and there are some people who are still stuck on the tent thing. So all right, let's
Okay, it's cuter than I thought it was gonna be.
Are you gonna drop a picture in there?
I am gonna drop a picture.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
go
see if I
for
can
it.
get this.
I will wait to reveal the answer for you to drop the tent picture.
Okay, let's see if it loads up. Yeah.
By the way, I didn't mention this before, but I have double screens, so every time I'm looking this way, it is super cute. I'm looking at the chat. All right, so the answer here about hovering like hummingbirds is true. So there are bats that feed on nectar. And these are just honestly just like hummingbirds, and so they can hover in place. Now I would have never thought that. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that, but they actually play a really important role, kind of like the mosquitoes. They play a really important role in pollination. So there you go. They play lots of important roles in life. Oh, so cute, bat tents. All right. True or false? Bats spend a lot of time grooming themselves, but not each other. Do they groom themselves, but not each other? Or shoot, do they not groom at all? I guess that's the other option. Actually, you know what? There's another option. So some of the people, when I taught this before, said they groom each other, but not themselves. So these are kind of like.
So this is a multiple choice. I feel like this isn't a true or false.
It isn't a true or false if you think about it that way. I hadn't thought about it that way, but that's what the kids were saying. So this is, yeah.
You
They were
get
telling me
yourself with
all the
all your
different
trick
options.
questions. But it's fun. It's fun. Seriously. So I'm gonna say that I think this one is false, but I actually am gonna agree with the kids who did this class before. I think they do. It's communal, and so I don't think they groom themselves so much as they groom each other.
Okay. Lily's going false, that she thinks that they do both. Flying cats.
I always thought it was more like flying mice.
Yeah.
But I've seen so many adorable videos of them. Like, I don't know if you guys seen the ones where they'll like clean them with little toothbrushes and it makes them go to sleep.
Oh, I have not.
It was the cutest thing ever. Because it got like oil on it or something, and so the rehabbers were cleaning it off with a little toothbrush and it just fell right asleep.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, Lily is right on this one. So they clean themselves, but then they also have mutual grooming as well. So
yeah,
it kind of reminds me of like lion prides where they'll clean themselves but also each other, and keeping clean is important. Bats pick up a lot of things, so I'm glad that they make an effort. I'm glad that they make an effort to keep themselves clean. This is good. This is good. All right. Do we think that bats almost never collide with each other? Bats almost never collide with each other.
I'm gonna say this one's true just because of the like echolocation. That seems like that would be true.
Despite the mass chaos that can happen in a bat
that
cave.
is true when they leave. That is true.
Oh, Misty, you have so much homework. And I think she meant the bats falling asleep
Hmm.
with the brush. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a little bat in their hand and they had a little toothbrush and they were cleaning it.
Oh. All right. Everyone thinks this is true. Yes, so you guys are totally right. They have very good spatial awareness. So essentially what that means is the space around them, they know what's happening. It doesn't matter how dense the population is, which seems crazy to me. I have very limited personal experience with bats, but I feel like all of that nonsense flying around like that they would just constantly be bumping into each other. But yeah, it is very rare for them to run into each other, which I don't know, kind of blows my mind. All right, bats yawn like humans. I know,
So,
super duper
despite
random.
despite saying that I don't know a whole lot of bats, apparently I watch a lot of bat videos. Like it's just dawning on me right now.
You're
Like,
like,
oh,
wait a second. Was it yawning in
I
the toothbrush
I
one?
don't know if that's like usual behavior, but it was cute animal videos, right?
Yeah.
Like,
They use wigs as blankets. Oh my gosh. Well, they've definitely gotten cuter the further we go into this. I feel like we've gotten the crazy scary parts out of the way. Dogs yawn, so why not? Think false but hope it's true. All right. Let's see. Is this true or false? This is true. Now, there are so many things that come up where I'm wondering, like, why are we researching this? Like, because research has to come from like funding and stuff. I can't
right?
imagine submitting a grant wondering if bats yawn and why. So yeah, bats yawn, and from research, we're not entirely sure why. It could be when they're tired, or it could be to send oxygen to their brains to aid with flying. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Kind of similar to the reasons humans yawn.
yeah,
The fact
exactly.
that we know it has something to do with being tired, but we don't know whether it's like a communal signaling to everyone else thing or if it actually helps us stay awake.
Well, and when you yawn, it makes like other people yawn around you. It's all very strange. So
It is.
I can just picture like once one bat is yawning, it's just like all of them are yawning. All right, bats always live in colonies. True or
Okay,
false?
like I feel like this one's true. Like I feel like this one's true.
Yeah. Like every time you've ever seen anything about bats, other than perhaps the one being cleaned with a toothbrush, like it was
Yeah,
with
like
other bats.
it would have to be like injured or something and to not be with the colony. I feel like that. Yeah, like see everyone agrees with me here.
Defending your answer. All right, guys. Yes, are we agreeing with Amelia that this is true? A small group but
Misty is
not a
saying that
colony.
she's
So
having some doubt.
all right, so for this purpose, we're considering a colony a group. So small or otherwise. Theories around bumping into each other, and maybe that's why they live in colonies because they don't bump into each other. So may as well. All right, guys. Yeah, some bats prefer to live alone. So there's one
Really?
called the spectral bat, and it leads a solitary life. Just not all of them are social, which really surprised me. I had no idea. I picture like you guys. I picture bats in colonies. and colony being anywhere from like I don't know, two. I feel like they're never a two colony, two bat colony, but from small numbers to large numbers. And apparently, yeah, some just prefer to go it alone.
Thank you, Teddy. All done. All done, buddy.
All right. So
He's
speaking of colonies, oh, you
sleep.
got
He's sleep barking actually.
sleep parking. Aw. A
So
really intense dream.
yes, likely he's dreaming that there are some deer that he had to chase off.
Aw. All right. So speaking of bat colonies, do we think that the largest one has around 10 million members?
Okay, I'm not even kidding, Misty. After you said this, there's literally a spider right that was literally coming down. Like a little tiny one. That was creepy.
Don't even put that out into the universe. Like you will never say, I always tell my kids, like, I draw a hard line at spiders and snakes. I know. No. It is a big number. Yes. So do you talking about him? Oh my gosh. It is a big number. So if you're leaning false, Misty, are you leaning false less? It sounds like that is a lot of bats.
I think that this one might be true. I think that there are very large bat colonies. So
yeah, there definitely are. In that moment where I was being annihilated by bats, it felt like 10 million. I have no idea. There's probably like 5. I have no idea. Oh my gosh. The small ones live peacefully with me. Yes. Well, I mean, they do so much good, depending on what they eat and everything. I like mosquitoes far less than I like bats. So if they're eating mosquitoes around me, I am absolutely all for that. All right, you guys, this is going to are you prepared? Are you prepared for this answer?
I don't know. Are we?
20 million. So if you go to Bracken Cave in Texas, this is apparently like an incredible display. If you are into bats, and I don't know that you are, even though you're watching this, this is something that this cave in Texas is known for. Apparently at dusk, they do this cool thing, and there are 20 million of them. Now, how they counted that, I truly do not know. But there you go. That is the largest bat colony, 20 million. So if you really want to visit some bats, that is Bracken Cave in Texas is the place to go. All right. Some bats use their tail and ears to catch their prey. Now, I don't mean like ears as in hearing, but like physically using their ears and their tail. Is this something that they do? Wait, bats have tails. Start with that. Well, I don't know. Do they? What do we think?
I'm gonna say false. I don't. This one doesn't sound true to me. I know, Lily. That is a lot of bats.
Yeah, truly. It's too much for me. Like I said, caves are super cool, and I have not trusted one since. So I live vicariously through pictures and other people's like videos and stuff. See, only way you'll get me near a cave now. Say false, unless it's like a monkey tail, which seems too long for a bat. Okay. All right. Interesting. So everyone's saying false, kind of for different reasons. All right. This one's true. So this is like super duper weird to me. I don't know. Maybe it's less weird to you guys, but because some of them have like such huge ears and there are these membranes in their tails, they can use them to like wrap around insects and whatnot to assist in their hunting endeavors. So they are just
And
using
now
every part of their body.
bats have they're going towards the bizarre creatures. Like I'm like, okay, these are stranger than I thought. Like these were already like a little weird, but like I
Oh
just love
man.
learning about different animals because there's so much to learn,
Yeah,
and they
totally.
honestly are always weirder than you think.
This is true. But I also intentionally try to find the weirdest stuff about them, to be fair. I
I know,
mean,
and I love that.
if you were to read about bats in like a book or something, I feel like you wouldn't see these things. But
Mm-hmm.
I dig deep. All right. Unlike birds, bats can't sense Earth's it's like, I don't know, tongue twister for me at this point in the day. Earth's magnetic field. So birds can, bats can't is the question. Whatever lets them catch those pesky bugs. I know, right? If they have to use their ears and tails, by all means. It is more important that they are catching things. Absolutely.
I'm gonna say that I think that this one is false. I do think that bats can sense the Earth's magnetic field, or
Okay.
at least, especially the ones that have to migrate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see. Actually, fixing the last slide here. I had a little bit of a typo. Gonna fix that and attempt to find the window again. Let's see. I have so many windows open. Let's see if I can find us. There we go. We're back. All right.
People
What
aren't
are
sure.
people
We've
aren't
got
sure?
like yeah, they're not sure. We're a bit stumped on this one.
All right. Well, since we are not sure, I'm just going to go ahead and give this one away. They can. And exactly for the reason that you said, it aids in their super long distance migrations. So, yep. It's just so cool.
It
I find
is.
that incredible.
I think it's incredible that like it's like birds and bats and like butterflies,
Yeah.
and it's just like I'm the only creature here that does not have the
I
ability to
know,
know
right?
which direction I'm pointed in at all.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh man. All right. Some bats catch and eat fish. Do we think
Hmm.
that they're, I don't know, like eagles or something and catch and eat fish?
I'm gonna say false, just because. I mean, other than like the really big bats that are in Africa that were like the huge ones. So I mean, this could be true because you say some. So I'm
Really
50-50 on this one.
dissecting word for word. Taking it apart.
That's the fun of it, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. I do word things very intentionally. Maybe false because they usually only swim during emergencies. Solid reasoning. Couple of trues though. I think we're evenly split on this one. Evenly split. All right. This one is true. So there's one called the greater bulldog bat, and it uses its echolocation to like find fish. They skim the water surface and catch it exactly like you would see a bird of prey doing.
That
So
is absolutely bizarre.
I had no idea. And I guess I can't say for certain these are like, I don't know, salmon. It could be like minnows.
Right. Right.
It could be very small fish, but fish nonetheless. I had no idea that any of them ate fish at all. So, like you
Oh, and
said, yeah, with over
they're
1400
tiny.
species, there's a lot of variation. All right, so we've talked kind of about really big ones, but do you think the world's smallest bat weighs less than a penny?
I think that this one is true just because I mean if you saw those little teeny tiny ones in the leaf, I can imagine those being less than a penny.
Less than a penny. I wonder why people are reacting to this with the sad face. an angry face earlier. Like, oh, sorry, guys. Oh,
They're just not bat fans.
I guess not. True, true.
So cute. Yes.
I know, right? See, people just aren't giving bats a chance, is what I think, for the ones who are angry and crying. All right. I think we're solidly true on this one, and you guys are right. It's so cutely called the bumblebee bat, and it can fit on your fingertip. How cute is that? There's also one called the flying fox. I mean, that just sounds huge to me. And the wingspan can be up to 6 feet. So from your fingertip to 6 feet, that is crazy to me. It's called the bumblebee bat. I don't know. That sounds super cute. Okay, let's see. Next one. Some bats have a tongue that's longer than their body. Some bats have a tongue that's longer than their body.
I'm going to say that I think that this one is true just because we were talking about like the ones that drink nectar and things like that.
Nectar. Yeah. That is definitely good reasoning. Cuz yeah, I don't know exactly how long hummingbird tongues are, but I do feel like they're pretty long.
Mhm.
Going false on this one. Although hopefully not on the 6-foot one. I feel I feel like the nectar eating ones are not 6 feet. The
Mhm.
6-foot ones are probably the ones fishing. I mean, that's like the size that is the size of a bald eagle. I believe their wingspan is around 6 feet. So if you picture a bald eagle, that's that bad.
So, to put everyone's mind at ease, because this is what I do while we're doing this trivia. The big bat. It's a fruit bat, so it eats figs mostly.
There you go. Not slicing anything open or anything like that.
So, what
This
does
is
everyone
like
think?
the weta, by the way, in case you're curious about like what is that? I did a class about wetas, super interesting insect from New Zealand. I did that in the trivia club. So if you would like to watch that one, you certainly can. All right, so this is true. So as you mentioned, it's the ones that eat nectar. So helps with pollination, as I mentioned before. So yeah, that one's true. All right. Do we think that bats can live up to 20 years in the wild? Not in captivity, but in the wild. Yeah, there's a whole lot of trivia classes in there
And
that
do you
you
get
guys would like.
access to the past ones as well when
Yes,
you join?
every single one is in there. Every one I've ever done.
That's a super great deal because you're going to be able to get the percentage off for the whole lifetime of the subscription. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Lily thinks that they live way longer. Interesting. Okay. All right. I think we're split on this one. So let's find out. Lily, you are correct. They do live a lot longer. At least not all of them, but some. So some of the brown bats can live over 30 years. Now, most animals, there's really only a couple that are not like this, but most animals live longer in captivity. So living such a long time in the wild is actually pretty rare, especially for small mammals, because they tend, it's kind of like, I don't know. The smaller ones just usually don't live as long. If you think about elephants, for example,
Hmm.
they live for a really long time. And so the smaller mammals tend to live much shorter lives, but these guys can live for a good long time. All right. Do we think all bats are dark colors like black, brown, and gray? And any other dark color I haven't listed here? Do we think they're all dark colors? Yeah, elephants live a super long time. I don't think it's 100 years, but it is a super long time for sure. While you,
I think that the question that you just posed, I think that that one is false. I think that they can come in bright colors as well.
oh, all right. What do you guys think? Do you think all bats are dark colors? Another false. All right. While everybody's thinking, yeah, so I'm offering a coupon code for the next week only, 15% off lifetime of my classes. Just like we were talking about before, you don't have to do the live stuff. I even give you access to just the slides if you want to play at home with your family. There are all sorts of worksheets and note-taking pages and quizzes and lots and lots and lots of different things. So you get access to all of that, all the past stuff. Um, in science, we covered weather very extensively. We're doing the skeletal system now. In history, we've been working our way through New Zealand, taking a pause on that for the moment, and doing the Halloween stuff that I was talking about before. Trivia class is whatever I feel like doing. Whatever animal I feel like doing on Fridays, because we've been doing animals. And then for writing, I switch off different types of writing each week. So, but all of the past recordings are in there. All right, aren't they all nocturnal? That is going to be a question. So we will find out to help them blend in at night. All right, let's see. You are correct. Some of them are very vibrant colors. So there is one called the painted bat. It's in Southeast Asia and it comes in vibrant orange and black. Um I definitely would not have guessed that myself. I not having been to Southeast Asia, I had no idea. I always think of bats as like super dark creatures. Kind of like this on the
Hmm.
screen. So you are definitely correct. Oh, look, Misty, all bats are nocturnal. What do we think? True or false? I
I
knew it
think
was
this
coming
one's
up.
I think this one's true, just because that's what I've always heard of bats.
Okay, let's
What do you
see.
guys think?
I don't know if the color thing changed Misty's mind. We'll see.
Lily said she didn't know that there were orange bats, but her mom did. So.
But her mom did. All right. Camel. Well, there are so many creatures where you'd think that I don't know. I think of them as bright colors. For example, the scarlet macaw. I mean, it has like all of the colors, and yet it somehow blends in the rainforest, which feels impossible to me. but there you have it. So yeah, I wonder if it depends on the environment that it's living in. All right, so all bats are nocturnal. Amelia said yes, they are. People are still stuck on the orange bats. Maybe false. How would they survive at night? All right. We will definitely find out. All bats are nocturnal. True or false? False. Okay. IG. I'm not or LG. I'm not really sure about that one. Typo maybe. All right, let's see. Are all bats nocturnal? No, they are not. So The ones in the polar regions. So we all Missy's like, my kids are all gone, but I am still here.
I know, this is like super fun, right?
So the colder areas are where they hunt in daylight, especially when the days are really long, when daylight is really long. If you think about, yeah, like up in the Arctic Circle, that or even shoot, just regular old Alaska, the days can be longer. So it kind of makes sense in that respect. So, oh, I guess thank you for for cluing me in on on the abbreviations. I appreciate that. So yeah, it's because there are some places that have sunlight at least part of the year, sunlight more than they have darkness. So, all right. Do we think some bats have cheek pouches like squirrels? Cheek pouches like squirrels and other animals that have cheek pouches. I don't know. Like chipmunks, I guess. What do we think? I love when they want it to be true or false. Cheek pouches like squirrels. What do you think, Amelia, on this one? Oh, did I lose you? Hopefully not.
Am I
Not here.
back?
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you.
I want to say maybe because I've seen like where they'll take like a really big bite out of fruit or something like that.
And you think they're storing it in a pouch? Okay.
Yeah, I think that I haven't heard of that before, but I wouldn't be surprised with the fruit bats in the mix.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Misty
what
is
I was
agreeing with you. All right.
thinking.
Yes, you're true. This is true. So, um, weirder though, I think. So we'll skip past the
Okay,
food
that
part.
is weird.
It helps them float. So the ones that are going after fish, like puff up their cheeks to make sure they don't drown during the hunting process. So I thought
Oh,
that
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 is
was
so
super
funny.
weird. Yeah, just to make sure we don't drown.
A little
Um,
built-in
yeah,
life jackets.
life jackets exactly. Like who would think that? Oh my goodness. All right. So we talked about roosting earlier, right? That their legs are not made for walking, they're made for hanging upside down, which is known as roosting. So do we think not all bats do that?
No, I think that all bats roost.
Because
So I
otherwise, like, why have the legs at all?
mm, yeah.
Unless I guess they're hunting fish, which I do feel is pretty rare, but true. All right. Let's see. Do all bats roost? All right. It looks like true is I don't know, actually kind of split. So let's see the answer. So not all bats roost. This one in New Zealand, the short-tailed bat. I need to add this to my New Zealand list once we go back to that. But it's a ground dweller. So yeah, kind of like scooches along the ground, like you were saying in the very beginning, in order to search for food. Like this feels like not right to me. Like why?
It's
Why
like
do you
it got so lazy because it's a small island, so it didn't need to didn't need to fly around too much.
Well, it's so funny. I need to tell my daughter about this because the animals that we've covered so far from New Zealand, none of them fly. And
Hmm.
she's going to be like thrilled to bits that I have found yet another one that does not fly. I mean, like they all have wings. Like,
But
what
they don't fly.
purpose? This one has wings and legs and like I don't know. Uh, why? Why? Yes, Aurora, that's who I'm talking about. I need to tell her about this. All right.
Yes. No, I
We
agree with you, Misty. If it was screwing up, I'd be like, nope, I'm out.
um, all right. Bats have spatial memory. Now, we talked about spatial awareness. Do they have spatial memory? So, do they remember exactly where things are all the time?
I feel like this is true, especially for the ones that use echolocation.
If a bat came up to me like this, I'd be gone, like crawling at you. I
Yeah,
know.
no, I'd
Same.
be like, nope.
Oh my gosh. New Zealand, by the way, if you do join, so it's 7 days. It starts as 7 days. The Love of Learning starts as 7 days, completely free. You're not asked for a credit card, although you need to put in that coupon code even when you're signing up, because then if you do decide to join, that's when it'll kick in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can check out all the New Zealand stuff. New Zealand is totally wild and I love it and I want to go. But yeah, there's definitely some totally crazy stuff happening in New Zealand. All right. Let's find out. Do they have spatial memory? Yeah, they do. They remember where they can find food, water, roosts, even though not all of them do that. So even after a long period of time, to me, this I hate to keep going back to elephants, but it reminds me of elephants because they remember exactly like where all the water holes are, and all of that. So yeah, they have spatial memory in addition to having spatial awareness. So, whew, the end. I'd I'd love to hear what everyone's favorite fact was. What was your favorite fact that you learned today?
Mm, there's just so many. I liked a lot of the facts that I learned today, but let's see. I think probably the tents, them sleeping in like little leaf tents, that
So
was the
cute.
cutest thing ever. Yep,
Yes.
Misty agrees. And then
The
Lily
tent
says
making.
about swimming. Yeah, I know. So many fun ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, the swimming one I think has me closely followed by the fact that their pouches are not really for eating, but for like keeping them
Yes. Or
alive
this
when they're when
the
they're hunting
hunting
fish,
fish.
which I didn't even know they did.
No, I think that
So,
you do a great job putting these together, and I think that you guys should definitely go and check out the Love of Learning Club. I also dropped a link to some of our other trivia classes that she's done here on the Homeschool Quest. So go check both of those out because she has a lot of really great stuff that she has over at the Love of Learning Club. So if you liked this trivia, or if you like some of the other trivia that she's done, I would highly recommend that you go over there and check that out.
yes, all of the live classes, by the way, are set up trivia like. So you get all of the like paper-based lessons that you can print out, and all of that is great and straightforward, and there are quizzes on them and writing assignments. But the I just want to let you know the live classes are always set up like this. So I try to find all the off the wall stuff that you wouldn't normally find in like a reading passage about New Zealand and about Halloween and things of that nature. So yeah, if you liked this, like Amelia said, this is how all of my classes are that you can get replays of. So I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Misty. I enjoyed teaching you guys about bats today. I need to decide what I'm going to do next month. I'm thinking hard about it. If you guys have a request, by all means, drop it in the chat. Oh no, we have another angry face. There's like angry and sad faces.
They're sad that you're going.
I'm hoping. I don't know. All
So,
right, guys. Thank you
post in the
so much.
comments what your ideas for next topic for another animal that we can all learn about.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see what you guys are interested in learning about. Heather, I would love for you to post a poll in the main group, maybe tomorrow or
Yes.
the next day, with a couple of ideas.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. I can do that.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today. And it was really fun doing this trivia with you all.
Bye.
Bye.